Hey, how going on, boy? How long I waiting on you? Why it takes so long to reach here? All right. First, what you going on in the meanwhile before we start? First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. Add like two people per seventh, eighth. Anyhow, good to see everybody. We're going to do a little quick revision here. Actually, I don't know how long it'll take. We're going to go through a whole sample people from the question bank. Question bank is ready. For those of you all interested, it's a book that I do every year that predicts what's coming for the exam. One of the persons from my class who did this merited in maths, meaning top of the top. And a lot of people throughout the Caribbean did use the book and also use the videos and merit as well. So we inside. We're gonna do a little study session here. You all could take a screenshot and post it on the Instagram just before I start. Let everybody know. Jump in. You all could close off the chat, press like on the video, let everybody know. Jump in. Sydney, good to see you. Sydney, Adrian, Asia, Samantha, Izzy, Michelle, all the usuals. All the usuals. Is always a pleasure to have you all here. The usual for this year. I'll get to know more names as the time passes. All right, so we're up to 200 people. So let me just scroll through and get this sample. We are doing sample 3, I believe. That's the one I snapped. Yeah, that's the one I snapped. So we're going to be getting underway this. I'd be asking you all to help me through. Bringing up my nice spiffy calculator there. Nice. So cool. All right. So everybody good? Everybody good? Why isn't the chat if you're ready to start? You take a screenshot. Now is a good screenshot. Let me just post the picture. Eh? So you take a screenshot and you post it. You post it on Instagram, wherever, Facebook. Nice. Cool. So let me begin. Without the use of a calculator, evaluate that. Well, I would choose to use a calculator for this and this. So we're going to use our calculator. You're going to get an answer for that. Leaving your answer in standard form, no problem. Giving your answer as a fraction in its lowest terms. Another way to say this in CXC is exact value. So we're the exact value. A kind of another way to say it. Fraction in its lowest terms is exact value. So let's just put that in our calculator and see what happens. Y'all can write the answer in. Yes, Spanish, blessings. So you have 2.4 times 10 to the power of 3. A nice way to write this is 10 to the power of 3. There's also a way to use it here, 10 to the power. Let's use it for the next one. Plus, no, I'm still in the superscript, so go across. Plus 1.72 times 10 to the power, you see? Sweet, right? Squared. And I just use the square there. Everybody saw what happening there. If you didn't see, you gotta watch over this video, right? But you could do it in all kind of nice ways. Okay, I do strippiness. Let me see what I do. 2.40 times 10 to the power of 2. Am I doing something wrong with this times 10 to the power? Did I put this properly? Let's use the times 10 to the power, not today, Satan, 10 to the power of 2. So this answer 2572. But why is my 10 times 10 to the power not working? Did I make a mistake? All right, so 2572. 2572 is good. Leaving your answer in standard form. 2572 is bad. 2572 is bad. 2572 is 1 mark, maybe. In standard form, this would be 2.572 multiplied by 10. How much times we move this? By 1, 2, 3, and it's a bigger number. We create in a smaller version here. So times 10 to the power of 3. Why isn't it chat if you all good with that? Yes, Jarvis in that times 10. I go figure it out just now. I think I sorted that problem last year, but I trying to reach somewhere today. So let's put this in the calculator now. The second one. Start off with the fraction. Realize that you need another fraction. So fraction in a fraction. fractionception, 2, 3 multiplied by, put a fraction here, 1/4. Now, some of you may be saying, what calculator this man using, boy? And some of you may be saying, I've been on this channel for a while. I know this calculator. I buy it. Everything is nice. So the answer is 1/15. Given your answer the fraction in slowest term, so 1/15 is the answer. And max fee run. 1/15. So the name of this calculator, I don't know if you can see it here. Let me just bring up myself a little bigger. How you do that again? Bam. This calculator is called the FX115ES Plus. FX115ES Plus. It looks like this, but this is the older version. There's a new version to it as well that's white, and you can buy it. You can search somebody called, one person is selling it in Trinidad, Gordon Technologies. Look up that on Instagram, tell him Cohen Springer sent you, and get through in life. Let me go back to your questions. Express 12 as a binary number, right? So this can come, and if you don't know how to do this, you're just lost in maths. Let me see if the calculator can help us. So I'm seeing binary here, BIN, and that thing is base N, so 4. So if I put 12 here, okay, what about if I put binary? Oh my gosh! Answers. Let's see why I like this calculator. Answers. What they're saying? They're saying is 1100. 12 is actually 1100. Is that correct? We're going to verify just now. So let's do it the long way. So 12 as a binary number. To convert something into any base, you need to do a kind of division, kind of almost like prime factorization method from primary school. So you're going to be like 12 into 2 into 12. You get 6. The remainders is the goal. The remainders is the goal that you harvesting. Remainder 0. Then you'll be like 2 could go into this soldier. Let's know. Let me just organize our next color since we're in this for the long run. Bang, I think we're good there. 2 could go into 6 3 times, and once again, there's no remainder. And then 2 could go into 3. How much times, people? How much times? 1. 2 could go into 3 once. 1, 2 is 2. Remainder 1 this time. And then 2 could go into 1. You had to keep going. 2 could go into 1 0 times. You had to keep going until that 0 pop. Remainder 1, of course. 2 can go into 1. So 0, remainder 1. And then you read the number going this way. So 12 in binary is 1100, and you put a little fancy 2 there to indicate that. So what do you think? Marks, 1 mark. You just need to put an answer there with that calculator. So a company bought a piece of machinery, 27,500. In the first year, depreciated 8%, and in the second year, 12%. How much is it worth when 2 years old? So you need to take off 8% of the value, then take off an additional 12%. Don't go and add the 8 and 12 and get 20% and try and do it all at once. They would take off 100% of the marks. This part of the question. Don't do that. That'll work so. So all right. So you start off with. We're starting off with 2,700. So at start, so like your principal is 27,000, 500. And then after first year, see now anybody answers in the chat yet? Oh, by the way, if it's blurry, you need to go and change the settings on your side. It's coming across crystal clear right now. So after first year, you're going to lose 8%. So the value now, just adjust your resolution if you're not seeing properly. The value now after the first year is 92%. That's a quick way of doing it, right? Or 0.92. So value after first year of machinery. Now, some of you all will find 8% of this and subtract it. If you like that, do that, but this a little faster. Would be 0.92 or 92 over 100 times 27,500. And the chat is telling me after the first year, that is looking like a 25300. Why isn't the chat if them people telling me good things there? So you put that in your calculator. And then similarly, this is after first year. The value after the value of the machinery after the second year. Well, the second year it loses what? 12%? Just now, I hope I do the right thing. Wow, it's going up 8%, 12%. Normally it's be the other way around. It start off high, losing, and it's kind of lose less value. But okay, fine. They're running this machinery real hard in this company. So 12% will mean 0.88. Y'all understand why I get a 0.88? Because like 12%, they take away 100, you get 88%. And 88% of the decimal is 0.88. Maths, it's sweet. Times, no, you're not going to multiply this, you have to multiply by the last value, 25300, and we're going to finish off. The people in the chat are telling me that 22264 is the exact answer. Is that the exact answer, people? So this is what they're looking for. How much is it worth of when 2 years old? That's what they're looking for. How much of the value was lost if they ask that question? Well, then you compare the original with the final value. And with this working here, you're looking to score 100% of your marks, right? The table below shows how many fruits a fruit vendor sold on Saturday. So before I start my questions, excuse me, non-COVID, I just drink this Pediax thing here, like a thing. Yeah, so before I start my questions, I post the questions on Instagram. I post some of them. So if you want to know about that, you can just follow me on @Kerwin Springer. If you want to know when I'm going live and that kind of thing. I advertise in it but now @Kerwin Springer on Instagram. If you want to take a screenshot of the class and post it, feel free to tag me. Once I see the tag, I'll repost it. The table below shows how many fruits are blah, blah, blah. The amount of each fruit he initially had is given in the third column. Oh, calculate the percentage of total amount of fruit sold on Saturday. Oh, so in other words, this is primary school. Primary school is what we have here. So 3 and 6 is 8, and 3 and 3 is 6. So 68. Let me don't get this primary school thing wrong. So 68 sold, right? Not left back. 68 out of 120 multiplied by 100%. Just a little past 50%, because 60. So the chat is telling me 56.67 or whatever. 56 and 2/3. 56 and 2/3 sound like the best thing to write. 56 and 2/3%. I like that. Let me keep moving. So again, 9 marks there. You raise through this and you're keeping in your mind, although you're feeling like you use a maths boss, that was easy. Know that you're going to come back and double check this question in the exam because silly things can have happened. So when you're double checking, don't go and double check from your answer. Double check like if you're redoing the question or checking out a different way to get the answer and then verify your answer, that kind of thing. All right, let's go on to the next section, the next question, which is algebra all the time. If you want to know when I'm going live, follow me on the grams now. Follow me on the grams, make it look good. Factorize completely each of you following. This is known as what? What is this known as? And what is this method what method we use here? Solve each of the following. So this is what type of equation is that? What type of equation is this? And we need to solve for 0. This one is going for 2 marks. This one is going for 2 marks. And then, given that, so this is, what is this called? Yeah, it's important in mathematics to know the topic that you're dealing with so you can know how to go and revise. And then, well, they literally said subject of the formula. Another word for this was another word for that. So let's go and write all the topics that are being tested here in this. And all these questions come from my book, the question bank, which just predicting based on the last 10 years, the kind of questions that CXC likes to bring, right? So this is called difference of 2 squares, and a lot of people pouring out the answers in the chat. Difference of 2 squares, which I love. Keep it up. This method, I call this method when you see 4 terms, but it's generally referred to in textbooks as grouping, factorization by grouping. Yeah, so factorization by grouping. But just to let my students quickly know what's going on, I just call it when you see 4 terms. You understand? 4 terms. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a linear equation because x is to the power of 1, and this is a quadratic equation because the highest power of x in this equation is 2. This here is called substitution, which is like 90%, 99% chance they're coming, some kind of substitution. And this is shock. So is the next word for this? Transposition. Wow. Transposing. Yeah, boy. It's been a rough day. So if you need to solve this very quickly, you find the square root of each term. And this could do in your mind. I mean, this could do in your mind. Anybody understand how we get this? Everybody understand how we get this, right? I see it in chat a lot of times just now. It doesn't matter if you have the plus here and the negative here, or the plus here and the negative here is the same thing. It's commutative. This one looks like it might need a little rearranging before we attack it. So I would rearrange and get fs minus fr minus qr plus qs. Now, when you're rearranging, this goes with its sign and this also moves with its sign, right? And then we want to take this down and approach this like how we'd approach the 4 terms method, where we pull out the common thing, and I'm seeing s minus r here. And these little snakes have it a little hot-head for you now, boy. So f into this is s minus r. You're normally just supposed to take this s minus r and put it back here. That's what they normally testing you on. But if you notice here, it didn't really doing that. You see a negative r, and so you had to brace. You had to brace yourself. So for those who not seen it, I guess a lot of people will be seeing that as the same thing. But if you're not seeing it, I just want to do an extra line for you. I could have rewritten this like this, plus there, and put the minus qr here. Yeah, so now I'm seeing the s minus r, and I'm seeing a nice little plus q going on there. So, and I have the 2 things exact. But yeah, hopefully you would have been able to see that without having to rewrite it. And this is your answer for that. Once you see this, once they see this, they're giving you that mark. Bang, bang. 5. All right, so let's write this here and we'll go and do it on the next page. Copy, bap, paste. So we have this, and x is going to be equal to, well, we'll have to multiply by the 3 because the 3 is dividing here. The 3 is dividing the x. So we'll get 10 multiplied by 3, and then we'll have to divide by 5. So this gives me x is -6. I just want to highlight that there are a lot of people just killing it out here. So Exodus, Crunchy, Michelle, Avery, Pet, Rajveer, Petal, Ariane. Big up all yourself. What next? The quadratic. So nice free little marks here on this quadratic. This may be, I mean, any quadratic is easy once you have been practicing. But they have little larger numbers than you're accustomed dealing with here. 3 by -6, you get -18. And you want 2 numbers that will add to give you that and 7. So immediately you should begin playing around with 9 and 2 in your mind, because as the factors of 18, you're thinking in terms of factors, right? 3 and 6, 2 and 8, 2 and 9. So I'm seeing that 9 minus 2 is 7, and it's positive, so I'll make the bigger number plus 9x minus 2x. So why isn't it chat if you understand that completely? How is your quadratics? The next step in the quadratic is to take out, is to factorize. It's like you have the 4 terms here and you're taking out the common term. So you have 3x into x. Anybody who just come in and not seen properly, you need to change the settings on YouTube. It's not me, it's you. It's not me, it's you. So 3x plus 3. Now 3x by x is at 3x squared, and 3x by 3 is that. So you play x plus 3 here 1 time, You know, once you get here, put it there. And then I'll collect -2 would give me what I want up here. So you just kind of figure out what number goes in the middle there. Finish off with a nice 3x minus 2 and x plus 3. Now, if you stop here, you wouldn't get it, you would get 1 mark. Because the question actually asks you to solve. So it's not interested in just factorizing. And it's a common mistake that students make. You're so accustomed just, factorizing in this part, but they ask you to solve. So then you need to do the either 3x minus 2, and Ariane is killing it. There she goes. Either 3x minus 2 is equal to 0, so you equate them to 0. If you have two numbers multiplying by itself and you're getting 0, it means one of them is 0. So either this is 0 or that is 0. 3x minus 2 is equal to 0, so x is equal to 2/3. Verify that. Or x plus 3 is equal to 0, so x will be equal to -3. That's what she had, as well as Antoinette and quite a few others. So I'm seeing 1 or 2 people say that I do not understand. I listed out each topic there. This topic I just did, this question I just did was called quadratics. You want to go and look up Kerwin Springer quadratics on YouTube, right? I wouldn't stop and teach quadratics in this class because, I mean, I'm going to do harder. I will stop to explain harder, a little more harder stuff. But if you're struggling with the quadratics, look up Kerwin Springer quadratics. If you're hearing something bawling, that is not so kidnap somebody or somebody. That is a parrot. There's a parrot across there, and every time it's food time for the parrot, he's making noise. Let's go on to the next question. The formula used to find the focal length. This is true. Those of you all doing physics, you know they didn't lie. Facts are spoken here. Given that u is equal to 2 and v is equal to 3, find the value of f, which is like the focal length. So all we need to do is substitute and substitute. They're basically saying 1 and f is equal to 1/2 plus 1/3. Verify. I just swap it around. Double check that with me. And 1/2 plus 1/3. That's like what? That's like saying what? 1/2 plus 1/3. All right. You can put it in terms of the LCM. So 2 could go into 6 3 times. So you get 3/6 plus 3 could go into 6 2 times. So yes, well done. So you get 5/6. But is that the answer though? Should we just stop here and say, right, we found the answer? Absolutely not. This is what the value of 1 and f is equal to. If we want to find f, we need to invert that soldier. We need to invert that. So therefore, f would be equal to 6 and 5. Now you get your max. And they didn't give us any units. So normally this is be in like a meters or centimeters or something like that. They didn't give us any units. Wow, 500 people here today. Big up all your whole self. Now we need to make u the subject of the formula. How was school today? Rate this day of school out of 10. How was your schooling today out of 10 all over the Caribbean? You could probably state your country too when you're giving your rating of how it was. And we're trying to make u the subject of the formula here. So in my opinion, I'm going to get across everything that's not u. So I will have 1 over u is equal to 1. Actually good. So many say -2. A man say it had school today. Somebody said 3 for sickening. We still going to school. Jamaica on study break. Well, my school. I mean, online school now, if you're going to school, mostly seeing low numbers. I see a 8, but I seeing 2 and negative numbers and things. At least I know the negative numbers. This is my school. What you on about? So I say this is school. No school. Teachers went MIA. What's going on at that school? My teachers dip. Chavez. He's a student from the student hub. That's not the student that we talking about. Our classes finishing me. I didn't have school. My man say my teachers dip. Yes, anybody teachers dip on them today? Kerwin's Springer YouTube channel, everything big up. Okay, back to the question. Right, so we here. We brought across the 1 over v because we know that we want to make u the subject of the formula. I'm seeing here that I need to invert u, and the only way to do that is to make this as a whole fraction, bring it together as a whole fraction. You'll know to make something into a whole fraction. So you'll have FV here. We just did that actually, but we use numbers. But some people may be a little confused. So, numbers here now. But you just say F by V. Then you say F could go into this. How many times? You say V times. So V by 1 is that. V could go into FV. F times. So F by 1 is, and you have your negative F. That's how it's work. That's how it's work. St. Kitts and Nevis, no school, big up. Not big up, no school, just big up St. Kitts and Nevis. And then you invert. So now you just invert. So you have U is equal to FV on V minus F. Anybody got this? Anybody agree with me? Are you find a talking sense here? Maybe no sense. Something went amiss. What's going on? This topic, what topic is this? This topic is algebraic fractions and transposition, making things the subject of the formula. This brings us to the end of question 2. We already get 18 marks, and I am already feeling tired. Using a pencil, ruler, and a pair of compasses, construct a triangle EFG such that EF is 6.0, FEG is 30 degrees, and EG is 9 centimeters. Wow, this is some easy stuff. So I'll just show you an idea of what you'll be doing. You'll draw a sketch first anyhow. So yeah. Oh gosh, graphs, I gone. So the first thing we'll do is get the baseline, and you're making a triangle EFG. What length they give we by? EF is 6. All right, EF. So we can put E and F here. EF is 6, so this is 6. And what's the angle? FEG. FEG. No, it's a small angle, it's 30 degrees. So FEG is 30 degrees. So to make 30 degrees, I'm going to do this construction idea in red. You draw a line like this, an arc, sorry, that's called an arc, by sticking your compass in here. You just draw a random arc. Then you come and you put your compass here on this spot. I'll do this one in a different color, the next arc. I will choose orange. So I'll stick my compass here now. Orange is not really showing up really good here. So let's try green. Put my compass. Yes, this is working. You'll see that. Nice. And I draw another arc here. Now it's important that you don't move the compass. So the same length that you used to make the first arc, now it's looking like I'm doing in the next direction. The same length you used to make the first arc, you keep the compass the same length. You do hanky-panky with your compass, and you bring it and you stick it in the next spot where I put the green, and you make the next arc. This angle here that I'm drawing in light gray, that's 60 degrees. It's not looking like 60, that's looking like 80 degrees or something, I think. But it's supposed to be 60 degrees if you use your compass, right? And then your next part of the game is to stick your compass here and here, those two spots, and you're making arcs of equal length, and they'll crisscross like that. You're bisecting the 60 degrees angle. And I'll make this one in black. The line will go, actually I'll make it in the same gray. The line will go like through there. That's it, 30 degrees. That actually look like 40 degrees or something. But as I said, I didn't use a compass. I just eyeball it. Then you draw this going up here. Hold up. They didn't say that was 90. They said that wherever G stopped, it made this into 9 centimeters. So you need to come now, measure 9 centimeters and make a little dash. And then you darken that using a ruler. Badao, and you connect. That is you there. That is you right there. So something like that is what you would have done. Not drawn to scale. Well done, Adrians. So something like that is what you would have done. You can do this question by yourself on your paper. Practice it. Even if you're really good in math. Take a little practice just to make sure. Be surprised with these things. Unless you do technical drawing, then don't worry. This is like Sakai for you. Now I think your triangle will come out a little more squeeze up like this. Mine a little standing up a little too straight, right? Let's go into the next part. The diagram below shows a figure ABC. Look at it. A, B, C, D. Forgot about D. State the coordinates of the point D. Oh my gosh. Let's just rough down that max. Hold up. Are they telling me the coordinates are D there? tell me the coordinates of D. That's like a little warm-up, a little something for the people. That's a warm-up, right? The line AB is mapped to A prime, B prime by an enlargement of scale factor 2 with 0.00 as the center. So you're going to make AB twice as big, right? So I've seen 5, -6, everybody get that. Now, if you didn't get this, apart from needing licks, go and learn coordinate geometry, right? I mean, if you didn't get this, exam is next month. I don't know what to tell you. You need a full deliverance. Just stick to the channel. We're going to be doing a lot of videos coming up every day. Not every day. Let me just set that yet. Then we're going to enlarge this by the scale factor 2. We're going to enlarge this line. So I want to zoom in on the line properly. On the diagram above, draw this a reflection of ABC in the y-axis. All right, let me do them one at a time. So we're going to enlarge AB and we're constructing that. Was it 4.5? All you tell me, I just write them all you tell me now. 2, 4, 6. Oh, all you not seeing it good. What are we trying to get? The coordinates of D? 5, right? So y come first, 5, -6. What's the problem? Yeah, I don't know. They probably hasn't seen that good. They probably see that as 5 or something. I don't want to believe it's the other thing. Okay, so let's go to the enlargement. We're enlarging AB about the center. So this is how this works. Now, it's something that's come like once every 5 years or so where you actually need to enlarge something, like including January and June. But if it come and you don't know how to do it, John, come on, man, John. Yeah, this is how you do it. I'm going to do it in red like this. So you select your center point and you're going to set up your little guidelines. Watch her. Sasha. And what you want to do is take a compass and make a little stroke there. And then come again and make a little stroke there again. Are you feeling me? Are you feeling me? Let me see if I can get a little something to kind of measure my way. See my way here. I'm trying to see my way here. See my way. Yeah. All right. That's supposed to not go so high. That's supposed to go right here. So. And then this one would go I kind of cheat a little bit. It's supposed to go about there. So yeah, I think I kind of cheat a little bit. So it's supposed to be 5 thing. But anyhow, I'll catch the idea. Why isn't the chat if you catch the idea? Eldon, come on, man, Eldon. Multiply the coordinates by the scale factor. Yeah, but since they want to, and they can ask for construction too, you want to show them that you know how to do the constructive way. But yes, so like if this is 1, 2, the answer should be 2, 4. The answer should be 10, 6. And then you just connect, and I'll make the line in blue. You should be getting a line like that. Now the line should be parallel to each other. And that's the end of that. Free marks. As far as I am concerned, looking like it should be good day. Yeah, man, good to go. So the line A, B, blah, 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 we do that on the diagram, draw the shape A prime, B prime, C. This is double prime. So dash, dash, a reflection of the figure ABC in the y-axis. So we want to take this figure and ABCD reflect it in the y-axis. I mean, I'm certain that some people are already feeling what will happen with the shape here. So when you're reflecting in the y-axis, you're going across like this, right? when you're reflecting in the x-axis, you're going across like this. If we reflect this in the x-axis, we'll actually get some kind of shape like that. This side will go across on this side will go across on this side will go across on this side, and reflect across. But we don't have to reflect in the x, we have to reflect it in the y. So 3 marks as far as I am concerned. And there we go. Can't use that 3 marks term too often in this class. There we go. And C was what, about 9? So about there. So, and you connect that up. Make sure you label your correct things. Labeling here should be like A double prime, B double prime. So it's not like you're taking A and putting A there. It reflecting. Catch me? And then D, and then C. Cool. So yes, the X values become negative. Well done, Brit. Brit knows she thing. Whoa. Isabella, just give the coordinates there. Isabella different. All right. So let's keep it rolling. That's it, right? Yeah, that's it. How will you find this going so far? I find this nice. This is niceness. The amount of money earned by Jane M is that, or I guess that is the how money that she earned. M is directly proportional to the number of hours she works, which is H. Use the letters M, H, and K form an equation expressing the quantities M in terms of H. That is nothing. That is nothing. Are we seeing? M is directly proportional to H. So M, capital M by, is equal to KH, where K is some kind of constant. So given that M is this and H is this, find the value of K. What is this topic called? This topic is called variation or proportionality, or directly proportional, inversely proportional. You can look up my name on this topic on YouTube, and you will get what you need to know for CXE. Given that M is 135 and H is 6, find the value of K. I just substituted earlier. So K is equal to 135 divided by 6, which is what? Talk to me. 22.5. Now, let's just add in the units of K to be extra, a little extra out here. Well, K is M, which is money, and H is hours. So this is dollars per hour. But dollars is really go here. So this is how we would normally write this. Dollars per hour. So $22.5 per hour. You can write it like that. You can put the dollars per hour too. Like actually write out dollars per hour. Now they didn't really indicate what this was, like if it's in thousands of dollars or anything, but that's fair enough. Let's keep it rolling. Find the value of K, hence determine the value of H when M is equal to 450. Well, that's 3 marks. Now we do our next substitution. 450 is equal to K, which is 22.5, and H. So all we need to do is divide 450 by 22.5, and we will get what? The chart is telling me that it's 20, yes. 20 by 20 is 400, and 20 by 2.5 is 50. So 20 sounds good, and we're going to put a little hours there, I guess, but it didn't specify units that way. So I guess hours. The graph below shows, they did say hours up here though. The graph below shows 2 straight lines intersecting at the point P. This is a brand new question. Using the graph, determine the gradient of L1 and the equation of L1, the coordinates of P, and the equation of the perpendicular line L2. The perpendicular line to L1, L2, right? Okay, fine. So equation of this, no, gradient, then equation, then who? Intersection, using the graph. Where's this? Where's this? The equation of the perpendicular line. I hope all your exam come like this for you, boy. It's nice right now. It's nice. As I say, these is prediction papers. So L1 gradient. Let's get 2 nice little points there. That look like a good point. And this look like a nice point down there. Using the point 8, 1. Are you with me there? And we'll use this point here, -6, -6. And we'll have m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. We'll designate him as the designated driver. What are we doing out here, boy? X. I don't care. X2, Y2, don't matter. We don't care. X1, Y1. We just doing what we had to do. So 1 minus -6 and 8 minus -6. So this is 7 over 40. This is what you get for the gradient. Gradient is a half. Well done, Daniel. A half. We don't really have any units. Just gradient is a half here. All right. Daryl. Nice. So we have the gradient is equal to a half. And now we can use this equation, y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. And we just use a point on the line. A nice point on the line is this point here. An even nicer point. We don't really need to do this. The y-intercept here, man. We don't need to do all of that. We are given the y-intercept. Y-intercept is -3. So if we have y equal mx plus c, where c is equal to -3, then y is equal to a half x minus 3. Understand? Why isn't he chatting for you with me there? Anybody have any complaints? Did I leave out something? Something was amiss? We good to go? Now, some of you all appear to be commenting in the past, which means, because I see the live chat coming up, but all in the past. A good way to come to the start of the video, just refresh the stream or pull up the stream just to make sure you're with us here and you're not talking in the past. Anyhow, the next step was to find the coordinates of P, which was just like what? Because it's using the graph, right? So you use the graph 2, -2. And then the final frontier is to find the equation of the line. So since it's perpendicular to L1, L2's gradient is going to be -2. How I get that? Well, perpendicular lines related by the gradient m2 is equal to -1 over m1. So -1 over, and the first gradient was a half. And put that in your calculator or understand fractions, and you'll understand that this should be -2, right? So this is the gradient of L2. And the y-intercept of L2 was a positive number. We can spot it from the graph over here. It was 2. So therefore, the equation of the line is equal to y is equal to -2x plus 2. I like this question. This question can make it take long or take really short if you keep your like seconds, if you keep your head on, right? And watch at max. Max, if you run. The table below shows the result of a survey that was conducted among 40 women to determine what their dream vacation destination is. Paris, London, Maui, other. Okay, fine. Suppose that the data collected is to be represented on a pie chart. Determine the size of the angle for the sector that will represent London. All right, on the diagram below, as I said, there's somebody. Nice. There's somebody who really loves pie chart in CSEC, so make sure you're ready for them. Represent the data collected above in the clearly labeled pie chart. So determine the angle for this and then finish up everybody. So fine, let me just do everything one time. Well, London, 16 out of the total, and the total to me is 20 and 20 is 40. So 16 out of 40 multiplied by 360, not 100, 360. 4 could go into this 9 times. So we're looking at a 16 times 9. What is that? 144. So we're looking at 144 degrees. Answers. On the diagram below with radius shown, represent the data collected above on a clearly labeled pie chart. Well, Paris, so that's London. I'll just write it in here. Paris is a quarter of London. So I don't even need to go back and do a set of calculations now. Quick with it. Paris is a quarter of London. This one is half of London. So half of London will be 72. 72 by 72 is 144. And half of 72 is what? Is it 36? 36. This is 3/4 of that. So 3/4 times 144. And 4 could go into this 3 times 36 times 3 by 36. Is it 102? Is it 102? 108? 108? 108. Right. So we have all the angles here. You could go in order. You can go in order. You could have worked out all of them. You could have worked out all of them separately too. You could have be like 4 over the total 40 multiplied by 36, 360 over 1. You could have worked out all of them like that too. Anything. So now you'd be like, okay, like 36. No, you're not going to be like that. You're not going to engage it and say, that look like 36, 144, 108, and just writing the angles. No. You need to use your protractor. You know what I mean? Your protractor, for real, for real. You need to use your protractor. That's this thing. It doesn't look so. It looks more like, right. And you line up the center here with the center there, and you measure the angle. Why isn't it chat if you could do that? And then the 36 here might be about that. 144 might be like what, boy? Oh, 144 will complete. Will actually complete the 180 degrees. Yeah, boy. And 108 will be like about that. So nice. So you could write Paris, right? 36 degrees if you're feeling happy here. London, 144 degrees. That place, 108 degrees. Other, 72 degrees. Other daddy lighten, boy. Daddy lighten. Trust. Daddy lighten. So go and feed your parrot. If you know, I don't really hear the parrot again, because whole year that parrot going on in my classes and things. So that parrot, we just ignore that parrot now. If that parrot in song, then I'll feel that kind of way. The incomplete table below shows the number of blue balls and red balls contained in 5 jars labeled A, B, C, D, and E. Interesting choice of implements here. A red ball is chosen at random. Fine. Determine the probability that it was taken from jar C. Jar C. 30 out of 200. What percentage of blue balls is contained in jars B, C, and D? What in the world is this question? Looking at the values for the standard deviations in the table above, compare the distribution of blue balls to red balls in the jars. The incomplete table, 28. So the number of contained in 5 jars. All right, so let's go one thing at a time. So out of the 200 red balls that we have here, we want jar C here, so 30. So 30 out of 200 is the probability that we're dealing with. And you can leave it like that, 320. 320th. We're gonna buy some seeds for the parrot. 320th. What percentage of blue balls is contained in jars B, C, and D? Oh, all together. All together. I was getting a little worried there. So what percentage is contained in jars B, C, and D as a oneness? The kind of oneness now, boy. So what we'd be looking at is to get rid of this one and that one out of that. So 28 and 36, we know we will be dealing with 64, and we want to remove 64 from that so that we get the nice little 136 there. So there's 136 remaining. You all with me? Oh, all done. So 136 out of 200 multiplied by 100 over 1 is, and the people in the chat saying is 68%. 68%. And then finally looking at the value. So this is the kind of question that comes in CSEC maths. In CSEC maths, I need you all to understand that CSEC maths is not the, I'm not saying that super maths and thing about real people is still struggle at it. So I doesn't really like to say that, but it's nothing too hard. It doesn't really ask you information on standard deviation, like calculations, but they could ask you questions like this on standard deviation. So if you need to answer this, what would you say? Compare the distribution. Well, you see in that this one, I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to say for CXC in this kind of situation. The standard deviation is higher with the blue balls than in the red balls. This means it has a larger spread of values from the mean value. Values are spread. So you're going to use word like spread and thing that what they got accept for CXC. Spread closer to the mean than the, what it is, blue balls. So the standard deviation is just a number that tells you like how the data varies in relation to the mean. Yeah. So like for example, if I have buildings, if I was making skyscrapers and these are my skyscrapers here, you could probably work out that the average height of all these skyscrapers is this. But the standard deviation seems to be a lot because, you know, there's a lot of variation here going on. So let's say the standard deviation is 8. I don't know what unit, 8 stories or something. And let's say I build another development like this. You could probably work out that the mean value of this is about that, the mean height of all the buildings. But this standard deviation might be like what, 1 or 2, because it's not really varying much from the mean. So that's what I mean by standard deviation, right? So if this has a higher standard deviation, the values are spread further away from the mean. Rate how much you understand everything we do so far out of 10. Let me see how the vibe of the chat going. So we're going into number 6 here. The scale on the map is 1 to 75,000. Calculate the actual, this is a question that's common people get wrong. Calculate the actual distance in kilometers representing 0.5. Ratings looking good. Seeing 10s and 9s. I see 1, 7, 8, 10s. I see out of 10 and I see numbers higher than 10. So yes, I'll mashing it up so far. I see 1, 1. I'm hoping that you forgot the 0. This person. I hope you forgot the 0, bro. This calculate the actual distance in kilometers represented by 0.5 centimeters on the map. Okay, let's do this. What's going on? There's this calculation that you should know. How many centimeters in a kilometer? There's just something that you should know just often. How many centimeters in a kilometer? Not 10. Well, I guess you still on the ratings. Yeah, just vibe check the chat by Shivers. Vibe check. 100,000, right? 100,000, as everybody's saying now, centimeters in 1 kilometer. You see this little thing? Just know that one time. Just mark that down, revise that, know that one time. That's going to be tested, very likely. If not in paper 2, in paper 1. So calculate the actual distance. In my class could tell you how much times we see this as we do in past papers all the time. So you might as well just learn it off. Calculate the actual distance in kilometers represented by 0.5 centimeters. Now, this means if you have 0.5 centimeters on the map, in real, you have 0.5 times 75000 centimeters in real centimeters. So in reality, or whatever you want to say to mean in real, would be 0.5 times, what's the scale again? 75,000. And that number is, what is that number? 37.5, 37,500. I don't know what that number is. 75, 37,500 was what I said. Yeah, so why did I put dollars? This is centimeters. In real, that's how much centimeters we're dealing with. But we want to answer in kilometers. So it'll be like 100,000 centimeters is equal to 1 kilometer. Since I want my answer to end up here, I'll put the kilometers on this side. Therefore, 37, you find for 37,500 centimeters will be the 1 over the 100,000 multiplied by the 37,500. And as everybody is putting in the chat, that will give you this amount of kilometers. So that's our answer there. Now, if we go into area, it gets a little more confusing in area. People attempt to force the same scale to work for area, but the scale already, this is a linear scale. All map scales are linear, meaning like length in real. Length on map, length in real. You can't use this for area on map, area in real, because you had to multiply it by itself to get the actual scale, area scale. So determine the actual area in kilometers squared represented by 4.1 centimeters squared on the map. 4.1 centimeters squared. So we could do this a couple of ways. What do you think is the easiest way you can do this? We can do this a couple of ways. What is the easiest way to do this? What's the easiest way to teach students to do this, buddy? All right. So we have this scale 1 to 75,000, and we want 4.1 cm squared. We want to know what that is in kilometers squared. So this is a linear scale. We could get like an area scale and just switch it up and get the centimeter squared in real, and then switch centimeter squared to kilometer squared using a conversion. That's one way we can do it. Another way we can do this is find the square root of this, and we'll get the side of one of, let's say like we had a square and it was 4.1 centimeters squares the area. We can get the side of one of these squares. This is how you can do this. That may be easier. You get the side of one of these squares. You use this normal conversion, and you'll be able to get the sides, the real sides in centimeters, change both of them to kilometers, and then multiply them back to get your answer here. Which method sound more confusing to you all? The first one or the second one? I see people say, nah, this is enough. people different. Which method sound better to you all? What sound easier to do? Just using the scale directly, or going back towards the sides and using your normal linear scale? The second method. The first method, the second. First, both, I don't know what we do in class, none. I see some seconds now. First, I'm feeling like I want to do the first method. I want to do the first method because I want to do the first method. My teacher got saying to do the first method. So the problem with the scale tells us like 1 centimeter, one thing like this is 75,000 in real, but it's not telling us what this would be. Like 1 square thing is not 75,000 in real enough. It's actually 75,000 times 75,000. So if we need to, this is for linear, but if we need to do 1 unit squared, you understand? It's going to be 75,000 squared units. So that's the first thing to know. So that's the first thing to note here. So therefore 4.1 centimeters squared on the map is actually equal to 75,000 times 75,000, whatever that is, I can put it squared, multiplied by the 4.1. You all understand? Now you're going to get a ridiculously big number on your calculator. Don't get frightened. You could use the standard notation. So 4.1 times 75,000 squared. So it's normally get to the power of 10, somewhere around to the power of 10 when you're doing this. 2.3, I'm going to use the exact thing, 2.30625 times 10 to the power of 10 centimeters squared in real. And it kind of makes sense. If the map has 4.1 centimeters squared, if you try to measure out how much centimeters squared in the whole country or whatever it is that the map represents, you think it's going to be a small number? You think it's going to be like some kind of thousand, like 75,000? No, it's going to be 75,000 times 75,000, because you'll have to go side by side or length by breadth. It's not a linear scale. I hope you all understanding what I'm saying. If you don't understand what I'm saying, just remember when you're dealing with area, you have to square the scale to make the conversion. All right, so this is the actual amount of area, centimeters squared in real. But now we need to do a conversion with centimeters squared and kilometers squared. And we have the conversion like this. 100 centimeters, 100,000 centimeters is equal to 1 kilometer. So if we're dealing with 1 kilometer squared, we will be dealing with, once again, 100,000 to be squared centimeters squared. You square the scale as well. So if you want to find, if you're looking to find your answer now in terms of kilometers squared, how many kilometers squared are here? It'd be like 100,000 to be squared centimeters squared is equal to 1 kilometer squared. How much we have? We have this number, 2.30625, was it that? Multiplied by 10 to the power of 10 centimeters squared is going to be equal to 1 kilometer squared. You're finding for 1 divided by the 100,000 squared, multiply by this, because you found for 1 and then you multiply. So 2 point, I need you all to do back this question. If you didn't understand it by yourself, try to do it by yourself and then check back the answer. Then see where you went wrong and try to do it again by yourself. Every like 2-3 years, there's a question that comes like this. Sometimes they draw a map for you, and students does just be lost by. They just be lost. So what's the answer you get to know this? You're supposed to get a normal, calm answer. The answer is supposed to be calm. After you go through all this mayhem, your answers are supposed to be like 5 kilometers squared, some kind of thing like that. So 2.3 kilometers squared is the answer. 2.30625 kilometers squared. But this is the working. This is the idea behind that. Can't take too long. Can't take too long on this. Now, I see some person say why I don't do a normal CSEC maths paper. I am going to do normal CXC past papers, but I've done so many CXC past papers on this channel. It's actually better what I'm doing right now. I know how the exam come. I'm giving you ideas on what the exam come. This is from my book, The Question Bank. Anybody, I don't know if anybody who was here last year, but I did another question bank last year. People who did the question bank last year killed off the exam. So just take my word for it now. Determine, right, so we finished that question. The diagram not drawn to scale shows the cross section of two cylindrical containers A and B. The diameters of the container A and B are 3D and 2D centimeters respectively. Initially, container A contains liquid to the height of 6, whereas container B is empty. Determine in terms of pi and d the volume of liquid in container A. Right, so this is the updated version of the question bank with additional multiple choice questions. Every year I'll keep updating it because every year you have new style of questions coming in, and CXC changes incrementally every year now. So I just keeping up with them, so keeping it updated. And in this year I actually included 5 sample paper 2s. And this is one of them that we're doing right now. Determine in terms of pi and the volume of liquid in container A. Anybody have the answer to this yet? If you want to buy the question bank, take this number down really fast. You can even WhatsApp the number now. Plus 1868. That's just the area code for Trinidad. If you're in Trinidad, you don't need that part. 7840619. Right? WhatsApp this number and just get through. And the question bank is only $200 at the moment. Right? If you're from another country, Jamaica, Guyana, St. Kitts, Antigua, Grenada, Barbados, wherever you're hailing from, you can pay via credit card. This is the number of the one of the Student Hub admins. So you just WhatsApp that number, write it down. I'm going to remove it off the screen. Shamoy write it in the chat, and you're good to go. Let me just give you a quick look at the question bank. We're coming back to page 77. Coming back to page 77, right? So it's 187 pages of past papers and solutions. Now, you're getting the question here. We're actually getting the worked out solution here, you know. So each question is the worked out solution. Is why I'm saying it's better than it's the best thing ever. You have your paper 1 questions, you have your paper 2 questions, and you have your solutions here. So like if I go into the sets, you know, there's not much sets. You can see all these style, or every single different style of set question that comes in CXC, every different style of anything you could think of, matrices, whatever. And I'm going to do more of the multiple choice as the time comes closer to the exam, but get the book now for yourself. 200 TT is like about 32 USD when you're paying on PayPal, for all of those who don't know what like the TT dollars is. All right, so WhatsApp the number. Let me just click it up. Who typed the number just now? Somebody I typed it just now. Okay, here, Shamoy. So I'll just put it up there so you can see it for a little while and I can take it down. All right, so 77. I have the question bank for maths and I have the question bank for physics. And I'm currently doing one for admaths. Hopefully I finish in time. The one for physics is even more incredible because it has definitions, all the definitions in physics. Can I pull this up very quickly for the students, them boy? All right. The one for physics has like all the tables in physics, definition for density, it going through each topic, and just it's like physics and you boil down everything is need to cram off in physics, everything. Random error, systematic precision, accuracy, blah 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 blah. Straight through all the way down to and this is the same 200. No, this one is actually $100. I am actually selling this book for $100. It's not the question bank, there's a formula thing. All the way down to radiation. I think that's Like if I had that in my days, I would have killed it, and I did kill it still. All right, so enough talk about that. Let's continue with the papers. We're doing part B. Determine in terms of pi and d the volume of liquid in container A. The volume of liquid in container A. The volume of liquid. So volume is equal to pi r squared by height. That's the volume like on a cylinder. There's a cylindrical container, right? Cylindrical. I've seen it sneaking there. I've seen the word. Cylindrical. Yeah, so it's a cylindrical container. So the volume of a cylinder is pi r squared by height. All you need to do is do a little substitution here. R is 3D. So it's pi 3d squared by height. Somebody saying something weird there, by. All right, let's double check here. This 3D is not R. This 3D is the diameter. So if we want to get the R, it's actually 3D and 2. So 3D divided by 2 to b squared. Multiply by the height, which is 6. So this is, let's square up everything and see what happens now. So this is pi by 9d squared over 4 multiply by 6. So 9 by 6 is 54 divided by 2, 27 pi d over 2. I'll just get a 2 out of the mix. 27 pi. Why do I have a d there? They had a d. 27 pi d on 4. What was the question? Determine in terms of pi and the volume of the. All right, so this is centimeters cube, because we know it's centimeters we're dealing with. Why isn't the chat fully agree with me there? Well done, Denel. Denel is killing it. Denel is one of the students from the student hub. So let me keep going. All the new people, close the live chat, press like on the video, bring it back up. Don't forget to press like. And we're gone again. How are we doing this? If all of the liquid from container A is poured into container B, calculate the height it will reach. Well, you see. All right, let me do it. So this is 3D. This is 2D. So there's a little kind of 2/3 of something going on here, right? But the volume we got from the previous thing, what was it? 27 over 2 pi d must be equal to the new volume here, which is the same volume. How we find volume of a, how are we going to find volume? So why you left out d squared? I'll leave out the d squared. I'm trying to bring back up the working that I had from before. Sorry for taking this time. I just want to it came off my iPad. I just want to bring back up the working that I had before. So this was 3D and 2 is the radius, and the height was 6. So the volume was pi r squared multiplied by the height. So this was pi 3d over 2 to b squared multiplied by 6, which turned out to be 27 over 2 pi d squared. Yeah, so there's a d squared. And this is the volume here. So 27 over 2 pi d squared is the volume that must enter into this. And we will call the volume of this the same way. So this is pi r squared multiplied by height, where the r is this new area now. So this is equal to pi. Now this new r is actually just d. Right, so this is d squared multiplied by h. H is what we're trying to find. H is the golden key. That's what they're trying to find, right? Calculate the height. So let's put h in this. So this is equal to that. So let me just copy this and do it on a new page just to show you how we're gonna find out what h is. You could kind of see it already. So far we get this equation taking place. Just to be clear, this came from the volume of first container, right? And this is the volume of the second container. And we're trying to work out what height it would reach at that volume. So I'm seeing immediately here that I could cancel some things. Pi is on both sides and d squared is on both sides. So very quickly, let me see if Daniel had this. Oh no, he just had the first thing. H is going to be equal to 27 on 2 centimeters. So it mean if you divide 27 by 2, you would see that you don't get something like with a ratio with 3 to 2. You don't. So if you use the ratio, yeah. And the main reason why it's not working so is because you have to consider that area is being involved, right? So because of this square, the ratio is kind of affected that way. So 13.5 is the answer. 13.5 centimeters. Oh, nice. 13.5 centimeters. Beautiful. Let's keep it rolling. We reached the number 7. This is the last question in the first section, and we're going strong. Seeing people phasing out. We now reach an hour and 16 minutes earlier. Keep it strong. Draw figure 4 in the sequence, right? So yes, this could come for your exam. Draw figure 4. Oh, I now understand what I'm doing. Draw figure 4 in the sequence. So I'm just gonna hijack this figure, which is not what you will do. Just to draw my thing quickly now, boy. I find my last set of squares coming out a little big. I'll see what? Wow. Bang, dang, 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 dang. Make some little dots here to just tell the computer where to put my lines, boy. Them is want to put the lines anywhere they want to put it, you know. How are we looking there? How are we looking? So unfortunately, they can't do this in the exam. Them last 2 lines come out a little bend, but we can live. So that's my 4th figure there. That's the idea. I mean, I should not even do that question. You're just adding on 2 blocks every time, right? You're just adding on them 2 blocks every time. Every time. So ignoring that and going on to the good stuff, the table, complete the missing rows. Anything important here? Okay, this is just the usual terms, the usual sentences have here. So this is the good stuff. We've seen some odd numbers taking place here, boy. You see that 357. So it's going up in odd numbers, it's going up by 2s. The first line you're always looking to figure out is this last line, because once you figure out this last line, you figure out everything. So anybody can tell me what's going to happen here and what's going to happen there? 2n plus 1, Daniel already stated it. Daniel is killing it. GL as well. Well done. So you're getting 2n, and the reason we know that is because it's going up by 2. So you know it's 2 times n. But if I multiply 1 by 2, I don't get 3. So I need to add on 1 to just make it happen. Having problems understanding that? Look up Cohen-Springer investigation. What's going on with this part? What's going on with this part? How do we get this part? And I'm seeing 8, 10, 12. It's still going up by 2. So it's still a 2n vibe happening here. Still at 2n. I'm seeing GL says 2n plus 6. So 2n plus 6 is the best idea here. The same 2 times the number is happening. So 2 by 1 is 2. But I still need to add 6 to get that. 2 by 2 is 4. Add 6, get 10. 3 by 2 is 6. Add 6, get 12. Yeah, so that's how I do this question for CSEC maths level. And in this one, we know that we'll have well, you could just see that 9 going to happen here and 14 going to happen there. I mean, come on, man. And with this one, you're not going to put 5 there because that's not what's going on. There's 3 dots. This 2 should be here and this 3 should be here, right? These 3 dots tell us, and so should the markings be. These 3 dots tell us that you had some values that happen in between. So don't just jump to the answer one time, right? So 55 is the number here. What we have to do is first subtract this 1 and then divide by that 2. So what we could write is 2n plus 1 is equal to 55 because we want to solve for n. So 2n is equal to 55 minus 1. And some people already have the answer in the chat. So it's 27. Once you get this, you just hit him at 2 and add 6. So 27 plus 2, 27 by 2, 54 at 6. You get 60 here. And that is it. You just solve everything. Everything and everything. Determine the relationship between the number of squares and the perimeter of a figure. How are we gonna say this? The number of squares. So this is 2n plus 1. And this is 2n plus 6. So what's the relationship? S is equal to, how are we relating them? Can you see? What's the relationship? You can just add 5. So S is equal, P is equal to S plus 5 all the time. Just add 5. And the reason we can see that is the difference is 5. Or you could write S is equal to P minus 5 if you want to write it like that way. And you collect your marks. What do you think about this? Read this question out of 10. You feel you could do a question like this in the exam? Zoo, 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 doo, 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 doo. 100% nice. I just stopped to send a very important message there. And we goes forward in life. The functions f and g are defined as that state the value of x for which the function is undefined. Find an expression for f gx, determine the f inverse thing, 3 marks. Let me just collect this 3 marks here. Just collect this 3 marks earlier. So the functions f and g are defined as this and that. Value of x for which f is undefined, this must be equal to 0. The denominator must be equal to 0 for undefined mentations. So if we put x is equal to 2 over 3, it's undefined. Why is in the chat if you understand that? So if I put x is 2 over 3 here, it will cancel and I get 2 minus 2 is 0, and you can't divide by 0 in maths. It's going to be saved on the page. So that's how you work on that. And they have a habit of asking CXC students this, and CXC students notorious for not knowing this. And math students, they have no defense, so they're just supposed to know this. Find an expression for FG. It means G is closer to X, so we need to put G into this one. So it's like we taking this and stuffing it in that. So F of G of X is going to be 5 over 2 minus 3x. But instead of X, I'm going to put the function G. You all understand what's happening there? So G of X is going where X is there. That's how you do these things. And then you could simplify this. So this is 5. This is 2 plus 6. Negative 3 by 1 is negative 3. And negative 3 by negative 2 is plus 6x. And in the end, I should be getting 5 is equal to 6x minus 1. I just rearranged this because 2 minus 3 is negative 1. So I rearranged it. 5 over 6x. Yes, so Crunchy Candy, that answer is correct as well. But you can rearrange it, right? Yeah. So I like that. Determine f inverse. Well, f was let f of x equal, excuse me, y, that's the first thing. So y, what in the world just happened there? So y is going to be equal to 5 over 2 minus 3x. Let's go do this on a clean page. I mean, you could do it mentally too. And you interchange variables. First, I want to write the shortcut thing. You have to write interchange variables there. Yeah? So interchange variables, you get this taking place now. Then you make y the subject of the formula. Write it out. People make y the subject of the formula. That's part of your solution too. And you would see that you'll end up with x by, I need to multiply x by, I'm not taking shortcuts. I'm not taking it for granted that people would know what's going on. I know I alone here, so can't be hearing no noises. Right, anyhow, so this is 2x minus 3xy is equal to 5 minus 3xy is equal to 5 minus 2x. What are we trying to find? This y. So y is equal to 5 minus 2x divided by, did I do something wrong? Divided by negative 3x. Y is equal to that. I get distracted, bring it across, multiply x, 2x to negative 3xy, 2x, negative 3x. So therefore, f inverse of x is equal to 5 minus 2x over negative 3x. Another way, this can be written as 2x minus 5 over 3x, like if I multiply by negative 1. So Samantha has that. Samantha has that, which is cool. Crunchy Candy has the next way, which is cool as well. Well, let's get them names right. Anyhow, so we did that. The rectangle ABCD not drawn to scale is divided into the quadrilateral DFC, two right angles, ADE and EBF. AD has an area of 32 meters squared. Oh, and AE is 4x, AB is 3x, BF is 2, FC is 5x. By writing an expression for the area of the triangle AD, show that 5x squared plus 2x is equal to 16. 5x squared plus 2x must be equal to 16. By writing an expression for the area of the triangle, sure, let's do that. The area of the triangle is 32. So area of tri is 32 meters squared. And this is base by height divided by 2 is equal to 32 meters squared, right? The base is 4x, because I'm looking at the triangle that way. And the height is 2 plus 5x. So the base is 4x, and the height is 5x plus 2 over 2 is equal to 32. Are you sure, boy? Are you sure? Yeah, all right. So let me keep going. So 2 into this is 2. You can do that. I'm going to pull this on a new page, boy. Where it's clean and I don't have nothing watching me in my face. Bang. So I cancel it 2. And then I'm feeling like to cancel this 2 with this as well and get 16. All right, I'm overdoing it. I'm going to do my things systematically for the people then. So you end up with 2x here now. So I can write x 5x plus 2. And it would have 2 there, but I could bring the 2 here on the next side and get like this. Are you with me? Yes, Shub. Big up yourself. Big up your whole self. So this is going to be 16. What we get here by 5x squared plus 2x. That's what we're looking for. Hey, that's what we're looking for. And next way that I could see this is 4x. So you really have 4x multiplied by 5x plus 2. All over 2 is equal to 32, right? So like you're gonna take this 2 and multiply and you get 4x, 5x plus 2 is, all right, but you want to do this in a 64, then you divide by the 4, you get your 16, you end up in the same situation. Ting, 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 pow, pow, pow. Yeah, Daniel, blessings. So, just like that, we finish this first part. Now, calculate the value of x more free max. More free max again. So, we're going to put 5x squared plus 2x is minus 16 is equal to 0. This is a good time to show you that your calculator can do these kind of things. Mode, computation, mode, equation, number 3 for quadratics, put 5 here, put 2 here, and put negative 16 because when you bring the 16 across, it will be negative. And you get x is equal to 8 over 5, and x is equal to negative 2. Ta-da! But let's actually solve this out. So you get 5x squared plus 2x minus 16 is equal to 0. Which is 5 times 16, but I really don't know how much is 5 times 16 is. 5, 6 is, is it 80? Is it 80? Two numbers multiply give you 80. Is it 80? Let me forgive me now, but 80. Yeah, so we're looking for, well, negative 80 to be exact. We're looking for two numbers that can multiply to give you negative 80, but add to give you 2. So the numbers really close to each other. What is the two numbers that we're looking for? And you already know 5 by 16, so you want to go up a little bit. 8 and 10, right? 8 and 10 is the, right? So you have 10x minus 8x minus 16 is equal to 0. 5x squared. So you put 5x into x plus 2. Put back x plus 2 here. You have negative 8 there is equal to 0. How that looking so far? That's your quadratics, right? I'm not teaching quadratics today. So if you're struggling with the quadratics life, Kerwin Springer Quadratics, I have lots of videos on that to help you not struggle with the quadratic life. And in the end, you'll get either x is equal to 8 and 5 or x is equal to negative 2, which is what the calculator prophesied and told us. No? So 8 and 5 and negative 2. So calculate the area of the quadrilateral DEX. Well, we found out what x is. X can be negative 2. So calculate it. So I can automatically say this one is invalid. X cannot be a negative number because it delivers an actual measurement. So this is x. They never tell me centimeters. They never say the units. Meters. X is meters. 8 over 5 meters. So if you want to calculate the area now, if we want to calculate the area of the whole thing, was it the whole thing? Let me just verify that was the whole thing. Yes, the quadrilateral. So we're going to calculate the area of the whole thing. A, B, C, D, area of that is equal to length by breadth 4x plus 3x multiplied by 5x plus 2. And x is really, forget, 8 over 5. Oh, yes, 8 over 5. So 8 over 5 plus 3 by 8 over 5. Oh, there's the fed up feeling again. Multiply by, make some more space. 5 by 8 over 5 plus 2. Can someone just tell me what this is, please? What is this? So, yeah, you just substitute what x is. You find your area based off of this length by that breadth. And you go with the grace of God. Whatever it is, you're multiplying by 10 for sure. What this could be by 4 8 32 3 8 20. Nobody can give me the answer yet. What's going on? 32 over 5 plus 24 over 5. So what we ending up with 56 over 5 multiplied by 10, and 56 multiplied by 2 is 100 and something. I think 112. Why they getting 25 and 3? Did I do something wrong? 56 over 5. 112. I get 112. Let me just double check it. Are you getting 112? I find too much people was confused in this one, so I'm going to just explain it again. Y'all understand how we get x, right? So we use the triangle, base by the height, base by the height, divided by 2. And when we boil down everything, use the distributive law, the N2. This is the distributive law here. We ended up with this, which is what we wanted to show that. And this is solve this. When we solve this, you make a quadratic that looks like this. When you solve this quadratic, you got this answer. You had to ignore this answer because x cannot be a negative number. So you get 8 and 5. Now they say to find the area of the whole thing. This side is 4x plus 3x, and this side is 5x plus 2. So I need to multiply these two by each other. That's what I did here. But then I substituted all the x as 8 and 5. And then you can just put this whole thing in your calculator, and hopefully your calculator give 112. Meters squared. Was it the area of A, B, C, D? What the question asks for? D. The question asks D, E, F, C. D, E, F, C. And I double check this, you know. I scroll along here and I say A, B, C, D. Is the question asking for the quadrilateral? And I see quadrilateral and I just scroll back up. I didn't check the D, E, F, C. Well, that sucks. But we close. Because we found if we find the area of the whole thing, fine. We found the area of the whole thing. We found the area of the whole thing, people. We're going in the right direction by accident. So we found the area of the whole thing. We also just need to find the area of DEFC. To do that, we can subtract this area and subtract that area. What is this area? Man, we know that area. We just did something with that. That area is 5x squared plus 2x minus 16. 5x squared plus 2x minus 16. And this area here is 3x times 2 divided by 2. How I get that? Base by height divided by 2. Right? Why isn't it chatting follow with me? Rate it out of 10. What's the kind of understanding? Give me a vibe check. What's going on with this question? So if I work out the area of this, it will be 5. Somebody with that calculator, just help me really quick fast. 8 over 5 squared plus 2 by 8 over 5 minus 16. Is that the area? Is that? I don't need to do that. They told me the area. Am I doing extra work here? They told me the area was 32. They told me the area of this was 32. Which means I'll need to swing back on this question again just to refresh your minds. The area of this was 32. So all I need to do is find the area of that little tiny piece there. They told me the area of AED was 32 from the beginning, from the first part of the question. So we just found the area of this big shape, and all we need to do is find the area of this little piece here, which turns out to be 3x, or 3 by 8 over 5. So 3 by 8 over 5, 24 over 5. So this area of DEFC is going to be, what I want to say, by the 112 minus the 3 by 8 over 5, 24 over 5. Give me the answer to that. I'm taking a little break to answer this. Yes, so I want to recap this question. Just take a quick recap of everything that we did today so far. So all of this we did just now. We do this, we do this, we do this, the base. We do a nice little question on machinery. We did the fruit question. We did the factorizing. We did the diagrams, the enlargement, right. We did this question. All of this was done in class today. A proportional question. We do some coordinate geometry. We do, wow, we did a lot. We did some pie charts. We did probability and standard deviation. See how they say the standard deviation. The distribution of blue balls is larger than the standard deviation of the distribution of red balls. Since standard deviation is a measure of the spread of data, it means that the blue balls are spread or out distributed into the jars more spread out. But you want to say spread out as in relation to the mean, because standard deviation really checks the deviation from the mean. So we did some scales. We did the investigation question. We are on the functions question. We proved this: 5x squared plus 2x is equal to 16. Calculated the value of x to get 8 and 5. You have to ignore the x is negative 2 since x cannot be negative. And we get the area of AED to be 32. That was given. The area of the triangle BEF to be half BH, half base by height, half of 2 times 3x, 3 by x. Since x is 1.6, it's to be 4.8. And then we find the area of the whole shape, 112, and we subtract the 4.8, which is where I am at now, and the 32. The 4.8 subtracted the 32, and we get 75.2, which Daryl has, Haley has, Michelle has, Rose, Sydney, Amish, Andrew, Samantha, Chelsea, everybody, right? So yeah, so the some of these solutions in the question bank was prepared by one of the top tutors in the student hub. She is a boss. She did, her name is Nalini Prasad. I did mechanical engineering. Nalini did actuarial science, and she had a first class honors. And she's the head tutor in the student hub. One of the things is people think that I just accomplish all of these things on my own on my own time, which will be pretty much impossible to do. No, I actually have a nice team that works along with me undercover. Shh. All right, so let's go on with the next question. So the next question is circle theorems. What is the angle OBD? OBD. Now you must state why. You must state what is the answer, and you must state how you get to the answer. Samantha say Miss Nalini is a god. I was sure she does comment. No, but Nalini on a different level too. Different level. So angle OBD. Okay, circles. What is angle OBD? Why is somebody saying 75.2 though? It's going to be 44, right? And it's an equilateral triangle. So OBD is an equilateral triangle. So base, you write out equilateral triangle. Base angles, and you need to write why it's an equilateral triangle. Base angles in, did I say equilateral? An isosceles triangle. Base angles in an isosceles. Nearly forget that S. Triangles are equal. Base angles in an isosceles triangle are equal, but how do we know that it's an isosceles triangle? We know that it's an isosceles triangle because it's made up of two radii. Since, and you write that since OB is equal to OD is equal to the radius, then OBD is an is an isosceles triangle. Base angles in the isosceles triangle are equal. So can you tell me what's the value of angle DOB now? DOB. Well, it's kind of obvious. If this is 44, what that going to be? That's going to be 112. Because no, that's not going to be 112. Because 44 and 44. 44 and 44 is, I see somebody put 112 there now. Shania is set up. 44 and 44 is equal to 88 degrees. So you need to subtract that from 180. So 180 minus 88 degrees is equal to 92 degrees. Oh my gosh. So 92 degrees is what that angle DOB is equal to. Now DAB, DAB, is equal to, what is that angle going to be? What is DAB going to be? Now there's a rule here. And when you put DOB, you'll just say angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. And Faith is saying is it has to be 46 since angles at the center is twice the angle at the circumference. That will do. That will get you a mark for DAB. And DAB was with 2 marks, but I find I work harder for these two than for DAB because DAB is just freeness. But all right, so take a break, never. So BCD now, BCD, this guy over here, what is BCD going to be equal to? And the reason. Oh, high luck dictionary. So what is BCD going to be equal to? So we got that this one is 46. We got that this one is whatever it was, 92. This one was 44. So what is BCD? And there's a simple rule. There's a simple rule that makes this happen. (180 minus 46). BCD is 180 minus 46. And what is 180 minus 46 equal to? Now, how did you get that BCD is 180 minus 46? 136. How did you get that in the first place? Well, there's this rule, nobody says it, or Josiah Walters, I think, was the first. Here we have Rajiv saying it as well. Opposite, Daryl is saying it the best. He actually write it out. Opposite angles in a cyclic quadrilateral adds up to 180 degrees, right? If you realize this is a cyclic quadrilateral, 4 sides, and it's inscribed in a circle, meaning all the points here touch the circumference of the circle. Bang, bim, bang, bim. So it means that this angle and this angle must add up to 180 degrees. All right. That brings us to an end of the circle. That was really easy. The diagram below, not drawn to scale, shows a quadrilateral PQRS, where PQ and SR are parallel and PQ is 20. I need to write in these things because not everything was written in. So PQ is 20, SR is 14, and the parallel. And what else? SR is 14 and QR is 17, and this is 70. Okay, fine. What we need to know? 20, right. So the only thing missing is the I've seen some weird things popping up there. Or some people in the past, some people living in the past, or they could refresh the screen. Are they behind time here? Find the length of RT. Find this length, RT. How do? How are we going to find the length of RT? Yes, it can be done. It can be done. So how are we going to find the length of RT, people? This length here. Well, firstly, you need to see what we have. We know that this is 90. We know that this is 17. So it means we're going to do some kind of sukato as a midime here. This, however, is 70. So if that's 70, then this over here must be, are you with me? 20. We're making progress. So if this is 20 and we know you're trying to find this guy over here, to me, this is the adjacent and this is the hypotenuse on a right angle triangle. So Jarrell is saying it cos. That's what we're gonna use. We're gonna use cos. We're gonna cos. So cos of 20 degrees. Remember, ka, so, ka, to, adjacent over hypotenuse. That's why we know it's cos. Is the adjacent over the hypotenuse, which is, I don't know what the adjacent is. Oh, that's what we're trying to find, RT. Cos of 20 over the hypotenuse is 17. So RT is, and when it under like this, is end up multiplying 17 times cos of 20. If you don't know about this, just search Kerwin-Springer trigonometric ratios. Kerwin-Springer SOHCAHTOA and you're safe. Or trigonometry, the basics in trigonometry. Don't go and look up no advanced trigonometry. You will get under attention. So what's the answer to this, people? It had to be a little less than 17, but close to 17. 17 by the cos of 20. $15.9. How much they wanted to any significant figures or anything, man? Didn't specify. So I feeling at 15.97, I would write out all of that. 15, I'm not I'm a little paranoid. 15.97 centimeters to, that is like 4 significant figures or 2 decimal places. However, if you get 16.0 and you put 3 significant figures, I'm good with that. Because if you put this at 3 significant figures, you'll get 16.0. So I'm good with that as well. You can't really put 15.9. That's wrong. 15.9 is a wrong enough thing you're using there, because think about it. You gotta send this up. This will turn into 10. That's why I get 16.0 enough for the first place. So anybody put 15.9, nah. Determine the length of TQ. Well, that's 3 marks there. We can do the same thing again. We could use Pythagoras theorem. I don't want to use a formula on top of formula, so I'm going to use the same SOHCAHTOA again. This time I'm going to use sine. So in the end, you'll end up with TQ being equal to 17 sine 20. I need you to verify that using the same SOHCAHTOA thing. So 17 sine 20, 5.8 says Jarrell, which is good. So I'm going to put 5.81 to 3 significant figures. I mean, there was some inconsistency there, but it was the same decimal places. Calculate the area of the quadrilateral. This time I'm going to read them letters again. PQRS. Calculate the area of the quadrilateral PQRS, boy. Why we need to do that? PQRS. Oh, we were given that this is 20 earlier. I'll forget. We were given that this whole thing was 20. Look at here. Right, so 20 and 14, and we have the adjacent as 15.97. Let me just go back and write over everything. So this is 20, and this is 15.97, and it's a trapezium. So a trapezium, what's the area of a trap? It's half the sum of the parallel sides by height, right? So it's going to be half of 20 plus 14 by the 15.97. What's the answer? What the answer going to be like? Uh, 14, 7, 10, 17 times 15.97. And Chelsea was the first one to break clean with the answer there, that I noticed. Adrian, Sonuchan, and Bianca, Anthony, and Jada, and all of them coming in with it there too. 271.49 centimeters squared. That was nice. Was there more? No, that's it. So we're going on to the last question here, people. And we finish this mini session. What are you for? Are you for some more? Maybe Sunday we can hit them a next shot. Yeah, Sunday we can hit them a next shot, man. Let A equal that why are we reading part B before part A? Part A. Where can we get the sample past papers from? This is the question bank. Let me just be coming back to page 81. Let me just say this again one last time for the thing. This is a book that I created called the Question Bank. I created this book last year when we did only multiple choice. And this book consisted of all the multiple choice styles that CXC brings. So like all the different styles of questions that come in number theory, it's here. Then you keep going, you'll get all the different style in consumer arithmetic. It's there. So, and then you have all the solutions to all of the questions at the ending of the book. So it was really useful for students back then. And this year, some people asked, so you can make the book again. But I always wanted to make the book again. But I wanted to include the paper 2 because this year you're getting tested in paper 2. So here it is, the question bank, paper 1s, paper 2s, and you can get it by, the cost of the book is 200 TT, and it's very simple to buy the book. You can just walk into any branch of First Citizens Bank, any branch of Republic Bank, and pay on the Student Hub account, or you could do online banking, or if you have PayPal and a credit card, even easier, you can do it that way. You just WhatsApp this number that I'm going to type in the chat, 1-868-878-40619, bang. Show that number right there. WhatsApp that number, tell them I'm looking to buy the question bank for CSEC mathematics. Please, they will give you all the banking information, all the information to get it, buy it, like yourself. Persons who bought this, merit in maths last year. Merit. You can look up what meriting in CXC maths mean. All right, so let me go on to, I forget the number. What number we was? Was it 97? Wrong. Was it 77? What number we are supposed to go back to? It's not 77, but it was close. 80 something. 81. So we're back to the last question here. Well done, Samantha. Thank you. We're back to the last question here. Given that OA is equal to that, AB is equal to that, find OB. Free max, right? We'll take it. So there's something called the triangular law of vectors, where you have like AB is equal to OB minus OA. Just look up my video on vectors to understand this if you don't. Minus OA, right? And what we're trying to find? We're trying to find OB. So we don't know what OB is, but we do know that OA is -2, -5, and we do know that AB is 2, 2. So when you bring it across, we will see that we'll end up with 2, 2 minus, well, turn to plus, and because they're coming across, -2, -5 equal OB. Why isn't it chat if you agree with me? To rewrite this, I will get something like 2, 2 plus -2, -5. So working out this 2 plus -2, you get 0. My son is 5 years old and he know that. And 2 plus -5 is -3. My son is 5 years old and you know that as well. So 2 plus -5 is -3. So if you don't know that, that's something called directed numbers. And if you're doing CXC next month, more licks. So go and learn directed numbers. That you can search Kevin Springer directed numbers, right? So 0, -3 is the answer for OB. Is OB parallel to CD? Let's have a look. Is OB parallel to CD? Let's go and talk about this. Let's talk about this. So OB is actually 0, -3, right? OB is 0, -3, and CD is 0, 9. Now I'm seeing that a scalar factor is in relation there. A scalar factor is in relation. Yeah, they are related by a scalar factor, I should say. Scalar factor is -3, so it means they're parallel. But let's just take a little look at this from a critical point of view. OB is like this. Well, you go 0 across and you go -3 down. Sorry, OB, I had to do it in red, would be like this. And CD would be, you go 0 across, but you go up 9. So let me say we started here. You go 0 across and you go up 9. So they parallel to each other now, man. They're just doing things in the y parallel to the y-axis. They actually parallel to the y-axis because they're not moving horizontally. So they parallel to each other. It's like this went up 9 and this one went down 3 because it's negative. All right, so yes, they are, and the reason is they are related by a scalar factor of -3 or 3, you could say 3, 2, -3, where CD is equal to -3 times OB. Think about it. Because we just found OB to be 0, -3. So if I multiply -3 by -3, I'll get the 9 that I'm looking for. So this is how you state this to get full marks. That comes all the times. Yes, well done, Michelle. You could either talk about it in terms of a scalar factor, which is the most common way, which I advise, or you could say scalar multiple as well. It's a multiple. CD is a multiple of OB in this case. All right, so let's go on to this last part here, which looks like a fat piece of fat with PH, piece of matrices question. List the elements in the second column of B. You all go ahead and do that. Find A inverse. We'll come and do that. Show that this where identity matrix. So you need to multiply, and this you normally don't need to show this. Determine the matrix BA. So multiply this by that. What is the size of the product? You don't need to, well, you will get the answer, so you'll just be able to state the size. Explain why the matrix AB is not possible. So you need to just talk about the rows column thing. So let's go ahead and do all of these. So list the elements of the second column of B. Second column of B is actually this, not this. Columns go vertically. So the elements of the second column, anybody stated it? Nobody stated. List the elements in the second column of B. Oh, I missed it. It's actually 3, 4, 1, but I feel like a lot of persons would put 0, 4. That's row. This is row. This is column. Find A inverse. Well, you see how these numbers looking? I feel the inverse will come out a little trappy. So that's A. Let's write it down and just do the whole thing, the route that your students learn how. So first you find the determinant of A, which is AD minus BC, which this is in the form ABCD, A, B, C, D, which is equal to -2 by -2 minus 0 by 1. Okay, so this is -4. Okay, something making a noise in there. Let me just go and check on it with my. I come in with my gun. Yeah, it's fully loaded. All right, safe. That's just the roof. All right, Haley, if I didn't come back here, I was supposed to call Luby or something. All right, so -4, and then the adjoint of A is equal to, you swap it. So you're gonna swap these two and switch the sign on these two, right? So the adjoint formula for the adjoint is DA, and you just put a negative sign here, which connotates that, which just means that you're switching the sign. So the adjoint in this case, you're not really doing anybody nothing here, and you're just going to switch that like that. Oops, I made a mistake. So this is 4. Anybody correct me on that mistake? So it's 4, not -4. Well, then I'm Misha, Antoinette, Krishan, Christian, JL. Yes, Rajiv. My bad. So it was a -2 by a -2. That the noise on it. That the noise. Jump machine there. So Since we have a little color scheme going here, let me just take a little break. Let me just put this back in the proper color scheme. -2, -2, 0, -1. So the inverse is going to be 1 over the determinant by the adjoint. That's how we learn to do this, right? Everybody learn to do it so? You learn to do it so, you learn to do it wrong. I thought about the way to do it. -2, -1, 0, -2. And you just divide everybody by a quarter. You just divide everybody by a quarter. Now you can leave it like this. You can leave it in this form if you have to go ahead and do stuff like solve a simultaneous equation. It's be easier in this way. But since they're actually asking you for the A inverse, let's just simplify it. The shortcut is to just put everybody over 4. And who could break them down. So to me, I'm seeing that I'm getting -1/2 here, 0, -1/2 again, and then I'm getting -1/4 here. And that's the end of that. So that is A inverse. So because this one was -2/4, which is the same as -1/2. Cool? Cool. Show that A inverse. Oh God, we need to multiply A inverse by A. You know, not the best thing to be doing with our time on a good Friday evening, but the practice is good. So we're going to multiply A by A inverse. And it's not like I need to practice, it's you need to practice, but you know, still, yeah, here we are. Here we are. So you multiply that by that and show that you get. So what? I feel like if you do this, you're going to get the mark. You need to actually show that it really give you that. You need to really show that it give you that, right? So -2 by -1/2 is what, by? -2 by -2 by -1/2 is 1. Is it? Is it? Yeah, -2 by -1/2 is 1, and 0. I don't know what was holding up. I was going to multiply this by that, and then 0 by that is 0. So you're getting your 1. You're supposed to get a 0 here. But let's do this. Which spot? I don't care. Let's do this spot. So then you get 1 by -1/2 is -1/2, and then again -2 by -1/4 is +1/2. So that will give you 0. Let's do this spot here now. You understand? We're doing different spots. You know, to do your matrix multiplication, right? You can search Kerwin Springer matrix multiplication to see what you need to know for CXC. And then we'll do this by this. So -2 by 0 is 0. And then 0 by that is 0 again. So 0 plus 0 makes 0. And then you're going to get 1 by 0 is 0. And then -2 by -1/2 is 1. So you show them this piece of work in here to ensure that you secure the bag now, boy. But in the end, you get your identity matrix. You multiply a matrix by its inverse, you'll always get the identity matrix. Moving on. Determine the matrix BA. Oh, gosh. Gosh. We are the last question here. We are the last question. Hold strong. I'm really talking to myself. So we're going to multiply B by A. And this is what we're looking to multiply by here, B by A. And I want to show you all kind of tricks for this one time. Here we are, B by A. So this is a 3 by 2 matrix. 3 rows, 2 columns, row by column, right? And this is a 2 by 2 matrix because you have 2 rows, 2 columns. Now, you see this number and this number, they must be the same. If they are not the same, no multiplication can occur. This is the number of columns in the first matrix must be equal to the number of rows in the second matrix. And the answer is this by that. So it means we are actually looking to get a 3 by 2 matrix, a matrix that looks like this. It's like this is the father, this is the mother. We're looking to get a matrix looking like the father, which is annoying because it means you have a lot of things to do. But we're looking to get a matrix with a 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there. You understand? Let me proceed. So to find this spot, this is in the first row, first column. It means I need to multiply the first row by the first column to get that spot. Are you with me? So it's multiply and you slide. So the -1 will be multiplied by the -2, you'll get 2. And then you get 3 by 1, you will get 3. And then you keep going down like that. This by that, this by that. You understand? So 0 by -2 is 0. And then 4 by 1 is 4. I hope I make a mistake because, you know, not coming back. 4 and 1. And then you do it with the next side as well. Meaning row by column, row by the same column, row by the same column. So -1 by 0 is 0. This 0 really going to help out here, boy. And 3 by -2 is -6. So I might as well put -6 here. And then 0 by 0 is 0. And then 4 by -2 is -8. And then -2 by 0 is 0, and then 1 by -2 is -2. So I went through the whole working like what you would need to do for CXC maths, just because I love y'all. And now your answer is going to be 5, 4, 5, -6, -8, and I forget what number right there. What number right there? -2, -2. Rate how much you understand this out of 10. Out of 10, rate your understanding of this. And the last few questions are asking you some words. So I'm just going to go to the solutions here and just show you the words. Sample exam 3. So we went through all of this. Wow, we did a lot in today's class. How long it take? 2 hours and 11 minutes. That was a ripper. Four, 5 negative. What's that what I get? 5 negatives. Yes, that's what I got. So this is the answer here. That's correct. So what is the size of the product? It's also a 3 by 2. 3 by 2. And we could have seen that by just checking. I show you how we get that just now, right? We did some multiple choice questions on Sunday earlier for that. And explain why the matrix AB is not possible. Well, this is going to have us multiplying a 2 by 2 matrix by a 3 by 2 matrix. These two numbers are not equal to each other, so it wouldn't be possible. That's the quick way. The number of columns of A is C, and the number of rows in B is 3. So because the two numbers are not the same, you wouldn't be able to multiply. You'd be missing something. It's not compatible for multiplication. And that's the end. So once again, love and blessings to everybody. For those of you who want to know what time I'm going live on Sunday, go and follow me at Kerwin Springer on Instagram. That is my most active platform that I'm on. I want to get more active on Twitter, but I haven't yet, you know. I need to start posting politics and that kind of thing on Twitter and just, you know, get more active in terms of maths. So, what else I could say, boy? Right now, we have the physics formula booklet and definitions out. We have the maths formula booklet out. That's only $50. We have this book, which I'm doing the sample paper from, out. That's 200 TT. We have the SBA bank out. Nobody here should be still doing SBAs, I hope. I think that SBA deadline passed. Even if you're still doing SBAs and you want to get the SBA bank, which is a book will just make your ACE SBA, so you are Form 4 and you're just here taking it in, you can get a book. We're going to get the maths, not the maths question, add maths question, but the add maths formula booklet out as well. Till we meet again, now. Love all you. Love all you. And the number to call. This is the number here. +1 868 784 0619. So you take down that number, WhatsApp, get it in, and follow me on Instagram to know when I come in live on Sunday. Till we meet again, people. Love and blessings.